Welcome to episode 91 of the Ben Briggs podcast. I am Ben Briggs. It's Tuesday's episode, people, but it is Thursday. I know. I'm late again. It's becoming a regular thing, this, people. I don't know. I'm not changing the days, by the way. I am sticking with it. Tuesdays and Saturdays. But, yeah, things have got away from me this week and in general, especially today. Really, you know, when you start a job and it leads on to something else. All I had to do was put up 3 lights today. That's all I had to do, and I fucked up measuring up the fucking thing and drilled the holes and fucking put the raw plugs in and fucked it up. So I had to re-drill it all and fucking put it in properly. But that's all done. But that creates another job, doesn't it? You know. That creates another job. Now I've got to fill those fucking holes I drilled wrong and fucking sand it down and repaint it. That's another day's work. That's another day gone off of the Briggs schedule for this. It's not really a self-isolation, really, is it? I know the people out there are self-isolating and shitting themselves and stuff like that. They've got to, you know. There's vulnerable people out there, or think they're vulnerable. I don't know. People, it's all a bit up in the air at the minute, isn't it? Life in general, it feels like at the moment we're just waiting to catch this thing. Does anybody else feel like that? You're just waiting to have it. It's going to come round to us eventually. It's like a bollocking when you're waiting, when you're fucking annoyed, when you're a kid and you annoyed your mum and you're waiting for your dad to come home, and that's when you'd get the fucking discipline, the old slipper. It feels like that sort of thing. Not that I'm sitting in my fucking house in Briggs Towers. Down in the basement we are at the moment. We've locked ourselves away. We've put a sign on the door, a big red X, so nobody comes near me. That would be the old plague days. That wouldn't be tolerated these days, would it? Somebody would complain about that, surely, wouldn't they? A big red X on their door. Hey, man, don't you start labelling me and branding me with a red X as they're coughing and spluttering all over the place. Let's try and get a little bit comfort. The old scar's fucking not healing that well, I must admit. The tape, oh man, it had tape over it. My scar had like tape over it for about until Monday when I fucking took my fucking boxes off and fucking ripped the shit off. I think it was Monday, but fucking Jesus Christ, that was a bit painful. Not that I think the main thing with this isolation thing that people are doing and that it seems. There's a certain amount of boredom going round. People coming up with good ideas. The comedy community is rallying like it has never rallied before around people. Because obviously everything's closed. All gigs are cancelled. Comedy does not exist within the coronavirus. Live comedy, anyway. Within a live environment. But a few people are doing bits and bobs online, like live gigs from their fucking houses and shit like that, and live little reports and stuff. I tuned in and watched Gareth and Karuna earlier on, and Karuna, yeah, I think I always say that wrong. Anyway, so I've watched Gareth Berliner on doing his thing, and there's a few others doing a few bits and that. I don't know. It seems like the comedy community is almost having its own sort of like panic buying with getting out content as much as possible to stay relevant. And I'm no different from that, people. That is my hypocrisy of doing this podcast, I imagine. I don't know. I haven't looked into it too much. But, yeah, people putting out a lot of stuff, which is good. keep going for it, trying to make the funnies through this until it inevitably either gets better out there or gets worse. It is. I know the schools are closing and shit like that in the UK, Scotland, Wales, England, Northern Ireland. And they're advising people to stay away from restaurants, pubs, and that sort of shit. Hence the reason that killed the fucking comedy community. A lot of gigs, man, running back rooms of pubs and clubs and like fucking spare rooms and all that sort of shit. So God knows what the comedy community is going to be like, whether people can see themselves through it. The clubs can see themselves through it and stuff like that. As if the pubs haven't had enough shit with pubs closing like in England and shit like that since the cessation of the smoking ban. Since the cessation of the smoking ban? No, that's a double negative. Since the cessation of smoking within the pub arena, pubs fucking went down. I remember smoking in pubs. There was something about, you remembered the next day because your clothes stank of fucking fags rather than... I always find it quite weird. The young generation these days who are grown up in pubs now where you can't smoke and stuff, I remember the stale smell of fucking tobacco and the haze of walking into a pub like it was some sort of like mysterious... When you first started going out at like 16, 17... It was some sort of like mysterious environment, as if you were like walking through the back of the wardrobe in the Lion and the Witch, the wardrobe, yeah. In those books, it was like a different world. You'd become a man when you could breathe other people's, 50 other people in a pub smoking, when you could breathe their fucking shitty smoke-filled lung air that they'd just breathed out. I don't know. There was something romanticised. I've got a romantic feeling about pubs anyway, having spent fucking an awful lot of time of my 20s in one. It's quite interesting mentioning that. I had to pop out, venture out without a mask or anything like that, without even the self-protection of hand sanitizer, and I'm still thinking about getting Gareth Berliner's wife's name wrong. Oh, that's brutal. I do that all the time. Get people's names wrong. Anyway, I ventured out to the shopping centre to get a few bits, just to get like some fresh shit. You know what I mean? I've got tins of shit in and stuff like that. Like, as I was saying before, it's the stuff you don't want to eat. That's what you got stored in your cupboards at the minute. I'm going to eat that last. I am going to eat that last. So I ventured up there and saw a guy who I haven't seen for fucking ages, who I used to drink with years ago in a pub in Northampton. I was a bit of a... before I started stand-up and stuff like that, I used to like a beer most nights. I had no direction in my life. It's not that dissimilar to the life I lead now, but I don't drink that much now, to be honest. If I do, I'm a greedy drinker. I'll go out and drink a lot, like in one night, and then regret it for months and months and months. But I haven't seen him for... It's amazing how people's lives change, how people actually move on. He was talking, fucking, when I knew him, it was like late 20s, and we were all sort of like lads who used to go out drinking, lads, all that sort of shit. And there used to be quite a lot of us go out, like 10 of us or whatever, and, you go your own separate ways, you start doing other things, don't you? People settle down, they move out of that group, don't they? They move away from the herd and create their own little herd in a little family scenario. or they start doing stand-up comedy, as I did. But I hadn't seen him for ages, and you fucking, we were just chatting and having a laugh about like stuff we used to do, and talking about people and shit like that. Mainly, this is what happens. You end up talking about people who have fucking died. That's basically it. What happens when you get into your 40s? You sort of like seem to be somehow shocked by the fact that people have started dying around you. Or people you know have died. So, yeah, that was that. But he was telling me it must be fucking 10 years since I've seen him easy. What is it? No, more than that. It's 13, 13 years since I started doing stand-up. I started doing stand-up about 29, 30. So, late, people, late in the day. And, yeah, I haven't seen him since then, so like 13 years or something, and he was saying he's got a 7-year-old kid and shit, and I was like, fuck me. What the fuck have I been doing with my life? Fucking gallivanting around the country, often offending people, dodging people, throwing fucking punches at me, to try and have some sort of ideology about how you do stand-up comedy. In a pure sense of it, like a sort of like honest approach to it without like trying to make shit up or anything like that. I don't know. Hey, who's the real winner in this situation? I don't know. I don't know how cool his kid is. I don't know, people. Let's have a little drink of tea, shall we? Let's have a little look. So apart from that, I've been pretty much hauled up in Briggs Towers, like watching shit on TV and that. I watched that, The Animal People. I don't know if I talked about this last time. I don't know whether I'm repeating myself or not. I didn't do one on Tuesday, did I? So I can't be. I watched The Animal People, which is a fucking horrendous documentary. I don't know if anybody's seen it out there. Let's just check. Yeah, I fucking spoke about it last time. What the fuck am I on about? Jesus, people. Hey, you could have shouted at me. This is all pre-recorded, Ben. I'll tell you what I did by today. I went down a rabbit hole of fucking doomsday preppers. That's what I did today, people. That's what I've done a little bit today. After sorting my lights out, obviously. I thought, hang on a minute, these doomsday preppers people are fucking already prepared. What I'll do, I'll go on the prepping sites and see, because all the supermarkets' shelves are sold out and shit, see what sort of survival food they've got. They're fucking sold out of everything. I tell you what, if you saw this coming, those companies must be fucking coining it in right now. All of those prepping sites and things like that, I had a check of quite a few of them, and all sold out. All sold out. It's just, and also everything in the news at the moment is coronavirus based. Have you realised that? There seems to be no other news apart from that at the moment. It's sort of like an obsession with it. That's the only thing. There must be other things going on in the world right now. Surely there must be. Rather than sort of like anything. I know there's no sports going on. I know the kids, like everybody's like trying to sort out like things for their kids, and everybody's like, and everything's changing every day, and the fucking death toll's going up. But surely there's something else going on in the world, or is it just not as important as this? Just looking on the BBC website now, look, Netflix to lower streaming quality in Europe because everybody's online wanking, I imagine, because they're often self-isolating. I think it's good. Why can't people, to self-isolate? Obviously, it's a good thing for the vulnerable people, and obviously people are out there, who are at risk or taking precautions. But surely the best way to self-isolate is when you've actually got it. Not when not when you're just self-isolating because you've got, like a mild fucking bit of asthma or something. I don't know, people. I don't know. I think like the world's going a little bit crazy at the minute. Maybe it may not be the same after we get back and after everything gets back. I don't know. It's very unpredictable, isn't it? It's definitely like having to bend over the fireplace and accept a slipper to the backside. That's what it feels like. I'm getting fucking flashbacks from my fucking youth of being fucking hit as a child. I don't know. You're just expecting that, the old legs fucking shaking. Terrible stuff. I don't know. Let's have a bit more tea. That is the one thing I have a lot of, tea, by the way. That is, I'm not worried about food or anything like that. I'm not really worried about anything. With regards to, obviously, how many comedy clubs are left when we get back, who knows at the minute. All bets are off. I've seen, like, people advertising that they're still running a gig or something like that. And, all of the big clubs and that sort of thing have closed down. And pending sort of, like, more information and shit like that. I think that's the thing. Like, people just don't really know what's going on. Like, for sure. And then you've got the whole scaremongering thing. And people still creaming it, aren't they? People still trying to sort of, like, get their fucking likes in and get their fucking posts shared and shit like that. Like, just for, like, posting around any old shit about the coronavirus. I don't necessarily mean sort of, like, comedians doing that or whatever. But, these people who do scaremongering shit. Just to get the posts and likes and shit like that and the shares so they get more fucking watches on a fucking video that's vaguely related to coronavirus. I don't know, people. In Northampton yesterday, where I live, in Northamptonshire, this is the whole of the Shire, the rows of the Shires. Sounds like fucking something out of The Hobbit, doesn't it, where I live? It's not far off. Dear. But there was only like 12 cases. There's only like 12 confirmed cases of coronavirus in perfect timing there. There's 13 confirmed. Oh, that cough couldn't have been timed any better. Dear. But there's only like 12 confirmed cases. So I don't really know what people are shitting themselves about at the minute. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you want your family to be all right and your family to be well. Like, my mum's popping around tomorrow. She's still out and about shopping and stuff. She's over 70, around about that region. I won't get too specific because she gets a bit funny if you say her age and that. But what they're doing, one thing of funny she did tell me today, what they're doing is they're opening the supermarkets for an extra hour. For the oldies, it's sort of like silver hour. That's what they ought to call it. Silver hour for the oldies, so they can all get all their shit before being trampled by all the youngsters. I don't know. It's the first time I've known my mum to actually sort of like gladly celebrate her age. That's it. All bets are off, aren't they? That's the thing. As soon as you can get something out of it, my mum is no different from anybody else. So she was hoping to get ID'd in the way in. So we will see that. I think it's tomorrow or Friday when they do that. Waitrose. So God knows it'll be like middle class. Just a sea of silver-haired middle class people. Although saying that, my mum's blonde, so. I don't question the blondness or anything like that. I don't know. I mean, I imagine, like she goes to the hairdresser and stuff and has it done, I imagine. Anyway, yes, so here in Briggs Towers at the minute, we haven't been doing up to a lot. One thing I did do today, this is how insane I'm going, by the way, people. Not only talking about things that I talked on the last podcast, But this is how insane I'm going. During the rabbit hole of fucking prepping that I went down, I ended up on some site that sold crossbows. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I bought one. I don't fucking know why. I don't know why I bought it. I don't really know why. It just looked fucking cool. And I don't know. It was just it was a site I ended up on, and it was sort of like some sort of survival site. And I think I went through the food thing, like looking for, hey man, this has got 25 years shelf life. This is going to be amazing. And then I thought, you're a fucking idiot, Ben. What the fuck do you want with like a 6 month supply of vegetarian dried food that can last for 25 years? You know what I mean? I don't, I've probably got about a month's worth of food because I don't eat that much. B, I live on my own, and C, I stocked up a little bit before I had this operation, because I thought, I'm going to be off my feet for not walking around, or not really going to be asked to go to the shops and stuff for a while, even though I've been using a fucking shopping trolley as a fucking walker. That's what I've been doing. So I'm a little bit stocked up and everything. But yeah, I got to the stage where I was like, this is getting out of hand, Ben. What are you doing looking for a 25 years best before date on fucking like dried vegetarian food? If it comes to that, I don't think, there's other ways of getting money. And then I thought, get a crossbow. Other ways of getting food rather than money. I'll get a crossbow. I don't know why I bought it. I was looking at it and I thought, that looks fucking cool. I've always wanted a fucking crossbow. This could be the time to buy one, Ben. Who knows what's going on? I wasn't totally thinking like that. I was a little bit thinking like that, but I just thought, it might be quite fun to have. I've got a bit of money in the bank. I'm going to probably need that money at some point. That's it. When I'm destitute, I'll end up swapping that for a fucking can of beans or something. I don't know, people. It is fucking cool, though, and it was fucking on offer. I think it was like fucking a third of the normal price. And I've seen it before. It's not like I go every day, people, looking at various weapons online. I don't know. Maybe you'd get a bit more fucking self-respect at the super. That's what they ought to do at the supermarkets. They ought to have little either turret guns on the end, or just the people working on the checkouts just stuck in just add a turret to that and just keep people at bay who've got more than one packet of things or more than 2 packets of things. That's how you do it, isn't it? Nobody. I haven't heard of that much fighting and panicking over loo rolls and shit like that. I know people are, out there, with the holier than thou. Hey, man, it's an epidemic of people with, fucking toilet rolls and shit like that, taking those. But I don't know. There's just not a lot of other news going on, is there? We need a distraction from all this. That's what we need. I know the comedy community is rallying with their output at the moment. It's like, I don't know, people getting very creative with what they're doing, which I doth my cap to, but I will not be doing. I said this in the last podcast, along with a lot of what I've said in this podcast. I'm gonna lie to you. I was, I was saying, doing live streaming gigs from your fucking house. That's the thing I love about stand-up comedy. I love the live risk aspect of it. That's what drives me to do it, and drives me to do what material that I do. People do very different material from what I do. And obviously everyone gets their own, everyone's doing it for their own reasons, aren't they? But my reason primarily to do it is I love that buzz of a live audience. And as much as I am actually writing material and getting material and then working on something else, hence putting the lights up, which is going to be coming soon. It's a YouTube thing I'm going to be doing. I know it sounds wanky and stuff like that, but it's been in the pipe. The annoying thing about it is it's been in the pipeline since I bought the website address like last August, and it's taken me fucking gigging and working my bollocks to afford the shit that I need to do it. I've finally got all the shit, most of the shit I need to do it. It's almost there and set up. And it now feels, this is a bit of honesty coming here over the airways, it now feels like everybody else is putting out loads of content because they're obviously locked away at home and shit. It's going to feel like I'm just doing it because everybody else is, which is fucking annoying because I wanted to go against the trend of what I'm doing. It is going to be something that's very different, I think, a bit of a departure, and hopefully you people will enjoy it when it finally comes out. But it ain't going to be coming. It's going to be like a weekly thing I'm going to do, like every either Friday or Sunday. If I say, and you're all thinking, if he says Friday, it's going to be Sunday. I don't know. Let's. What are we on? We're on 26 fucking minutes. It's been a bit of a rambly today, isn't it, people? I don't know. Sometimes I'm just going to ramble on here, aren't I? Sometimes I'm going to fucking rant. Sometimes I'm going to ramble. Sometimes I'm going to repeat what I did in the last podcast because I completely fucking forget about it. I don't know. The adverts will be back Saturday. I am doing Saturday's episode on Saturday. I might be recording it as well and sticking it on YouTube. Well, it is recorded anyway and stuck on YouTube, but I mean fucking video in it. So, Jesus, I put, you know when you put too much tea in your mouth and it almost comes out your nose? Hello. That's what just happened to me. So I might be recording that Saturday if I can get everything set up in time. I'm waiting on a few bits still to come through the postage system. Plus the fact I bought some fucking trainers the other day. This is fucking annoying. When you buy trainers from abroad and then they put a fucking import tax on it as well. Just give me the full price, people. They're coming tomorrow, so hopefully the rest of the shit's coming tomorrow as well. I don't know. Let's end. We'll be back Saturday anyway. But I am going to get the adverts going again. I'm also going to be editing out the adverts and just putting them up on their own. So you can listen to that shit. I don't know. Anyway, let's end on a little bit of an upbeat story. With regards to the coronavirus, here we go. Coronavirus. That's to come, isn't it? I'm protected. Now I've got my crossbow, baby. It's not come yet. I don't know. It was a foolish fucking impulse purchase. I have no idea. I was just like, hey, man. I need to get out of the house more. I'm somebody who doesn't need to self-isolate because I end up buying shit online. I've not even had a drink. I can't even say that I've had a drink or anything like that that's led me to buying a fucking crossbow. But it may come in handy, it may not. Here we go. Anyway, coronavirus update. Elephants break into farm in self-isolation and get drunk on whiskey. What better way? They know, don't they? They know how to do it, the old elephants, don't they? Across the world, there are now 200,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19, but a herd of elephants in China found a very fun way to make the most of people putting themselves in self-isolation. They look levered as well. They're just asleep with their asses touching. The world, all right, around the world. Here Boris Johnson announced schools could be closed. All right. Let's get to the elephant story. There is no elephant story. Is that it? Yeah. Here we go. Jesus fucking hell. This is usually I read these and it's like, but the opening fucking, read the article before you fucking start your podcast, Ben, probably. And China was the first country. There's 3 paragraphs about fucking doom and gloom, and then you get to the actual fucking story about the elephants. The herd of the 14 majestic beasts broke into a village in a bid to find food. However, they got a cheeky extra for their efforts when they came across a huge 300 kilogram of corn wine. After drinking the lot, the elephants were somewhat the worse for wear. 2 males passed out. I'm surprised they didn't start fighting drunk in one of the tea gardens nearby. Fucking hell. That's the way to do it, isn't it? That's the way. If it is the end of days, that's how we finish it. That's how we all do. We'll just have one mass fucking party at the end, and do it. Just get blasted. That's it. Everybody stops self-isolating. We all go out. It's not that bad, people, is it? You know what I mean? This is that'll be our fucking VJ day. As soon as we get the all clear and everything's open again, people are going to be fucking in the streets, I imagine. I don't know. Still a bit wary, though. They'll be in those fucking biohazard suits just sleeping next to each other for the next 3 months. I don't know, people. I don't know. We're on 31 minutes, people. Sorry it was a bit of a rambly, shambly fucking episode, but I endeavour to make Saturday's episode a little bit more entertaining for you. I will be back. I keep saying it. I know I keep saying it with the adverts, but, here at Briggs Towers, there's a lot of maintaining to do. I've got to rethatch the roof and I've got to drain the moat, that sort of thing. And Crossbow, they're fucking... the serving staff, if they get out of order, I don't know. I'll be back. I'll be back on Saturday, people, and it will be Saturday. It'll be Saturday evening. It's now 5 to 11. It's nearly Friday, people. Have a good Friday and Saturday day, motherfuckers, and I'll speak to you on Saturday. Take care.